And welcome back, folks, to Shell Busey's Ask Shell Coffee Break. Hey, the topic today is one that I get asked time and time again. As soon as the weather breaks in the spring, people want to do those decks, upgrade those wood decks, staining them, building them, and asking the question, good, better, best, what about the rest? What do I use? How do I build it? All those sort of questions. Well, the item that I'm going to address today on the Ask Shell Coffee Break is that deck staining, or if you want to call it, refinishing. But let's talk about your deck. We're not going to talk about composite decks. I've talked about composites before. Composites are something today, if you're building a deck, if I were building a deck, which I have very recently, I use that product. That is considered a man-made product. And a man-made product is going to be made up of, could be plastics. It could be, I've even seen concrete decks. Composite, we use the term, composite products. And they are the answer. And really and truly, when you take a look at over a 10-year period, if you're going to build a deck, you certainly want a deck to last, say, 10 years. So take it and put the cost over a 10-year basis. Because once you build the deck, every 2 years you have to finish it, possibly even sand it or strip it, all those different things. And by the time you do that every 2 years, 5 times over that 10 years, I think you'll pay the difference and put composite decking on at least the flat portion. You can do whatever with your joist system and also your railings and all that sort of thing, but the deck itself. So today I'm going to talk about wood. You may have western red cedar, you may have fir, you may have hemlock, hope not, but you may have spruce, or you may have treated wood. And you know, if you have treated wood, in most cases you'll very likely have a spruce species or a white species, and it could even be possibly hemlock, or it could be a pine. Because those species allow the porosity of the wood to accept the treating that they're going to do in what they call a pressure treating system. Now, a pressure treating system, folks, is very good with the exception of one thing: moisture. Moisture in the sense of the word of the treatment product itself that they pressure treat into the wood, or it could be green, meaning green, freshly cut material that's still moist. Those particular components of wood, dampness, wet, green, all those terms used, are not going to hang on to a finish like stain. Oh yeah, it'll look good for the first little while, maybe even the first year. Put it through a winter though. The next spring, bingo, you're back looking at it. In fact, many, many families stain their deck every year. I don't want to do that, and I don't want you to do that. So I'm going to be giving you some tips here today, and I'm sure you'll run this coffee break a few times because you'll have to write down a lot of information that is very important. So let's deal with the deck that has to be stained semi-transparent, stained solid, or painted solid color. The wood itself is the most important thing that you have to think about. Once you've bought it, if you bought treated, untreated, or whatever, please, please listen to what I have to say. One, that wood should not have any more than 10% moisture content in it. And you'll likely ask the question of yourself, how can I tell that? Well, wherever you buy it, they should have a moisture meter. In fact, we have a moisture meter at our office. I use it all the time. That 10% factor, if it's any more than that, you can be assured you're not going to get any life out of your stain or paint. Okay? So be very certain. Now, what do you do once you want to build a deck? How can you go forward in order to get the deck built, so at least satisfy that you are going to have a deck eventually? Build your joist system. That's your floor joist system. All your beams, if you're within even 5 to 8 feet of the ground, still use treated lumber, folks. Treated lumber is so important. It's treated to go right into the ground. But in the event of water dripping through, it's called a drip-through deck on a wooden deck. That water dripping through, you don't want it getting between your deck boards and the joists and eventually causing rot or rusting of nails and all the rest of it. So very simply, use treated lumber for your joists and your fascias. Then on top, lay your deck boards that you've bought, treated or untreated. And you flip those boards over to the side that you are not going to want facing up. You don't want to look at that damage, or you don't want to look at that mark. You don't want to look at that knot. Then flip it up. Because what I'm going to suggest you do when you flip it up, that's going to be the underside. The underside of the deck, which you're never going to see again unless you go underneath the deck and look up. And if it's down close to the ground, good luck. You'll never see it again, because the only one to see that is the moles and the ants and all those other little insecty characters. So bad side up, then you wash it. Wash it with my cleaning formula right here. Why? Because you take off what's called mill glaze. Mill glaze is when the lumber goes through the planers at the lumber mill, or the stickers that really polishes it. And that real shiny part that people feel it at the building supply store, and they feel it and they say, oh, is that ever nice? Well, it's nice, but it's not nice to you when it comes to putting a finish on it, because it will resist the finish, because what it is, it's the polish from the blades making it smooth that's polished the resin in the wood, the saps in the wood, to make it almost waterproof, so therefore whatever you put on it's not going to stick there or penetrate anyway. So you wash it off, and you use a good stiff broom to scrub and then rinse. Now what you do, you flip the boards over, and that's your face. You look at it for a little while, and you say, that is what I want as my finish. After you've done that, though, flip it back. Flip it back, because now you've let the water drain off that you put on there for washing it, and you don't want that water there. So you flip it back, bad side up, let it dry. Even if you have to take a towel, an old towel you don't want to use anymore, dry it off and let it dry. And if it's sunny that day, let it dry, but don't do any finishing. You never put a finish on when it's hot and sunny. You do it when the sun's gone over or the sun's gone down, or at least behind the mountains or behind the trees. Once it's dry, no sun, then take your stain and roll your stain on or brush it on. And that is your sealer coat for the bottom, because you're never going to see it again. Do the ends and the sides and the back. And then once that's all finished, the next day, flip it over. And now you're ready to put your top coat on. And incidentally, don't put that much on when you're doing the back that you're going to have runs on the bottom side, which is going to become your top side, because you don't want that. If you do, then you're going to have to take some solvents and wash it off. And then you use my cleaning formula again, but not right away, after it's dry to the point of 10% moisture. That may take a week, may take 2 weeks, may take 3 weeks, depending on Mother Nature and the weather. When it's dry and it's below 10%, now you can finish your boards. And I always like to finish the boards before such time as you screw them down, because it's a lot easier to do the edges than when they're screwed down with only a 1/4 inch between. And keep in mind, I said a 1/4 inch between. If you put them tight, then they'll dry to the point when they're drying, and when they are dry, you're not going to get much shrinkage when they are dry. But if you put them a 1/4 inch apart and you don't wait till they dry and screw them down, then you're going to end up with 3/8 of an opening. Too big, too wide, not good, doesn't look great. So if you're in doubt, put them tight. But before you put them tight, do the finishing of the top finish, before you screw them down. Do you hear what I said now? Screw them down. And I always like to use the pinhead screws. They're called pinhead screws. The reason why I got a very small head on them, and the head goes down into the wood, and that way if you ever have to sand it down the road, at least you can do so without ripping your sandpaper. Now you got the top finish on, not in the sunshine. Wait for another 2 or 3 days. Nice weather, give it the second coat. And now you got a deck finish that's going to last and last and last. And you know, folks, there's products on the market today like Cloverdale Paint. They just introduced a product called Shark Skin. Oh, what a nice product. It is a great product, but it's warranted. But read the fine print. You're not going to get warranty unless you do it according to their instructions. Okay? It's just that easy. So when in doubt, don't pout. Let me, Shell Busey, help you out right here on the coffee break. It's just that easy.